All right, let's get to it. We close in on our first bout as local product and #1 rated John the Quiet Man Ruiz defends his WBA North American heavyweight title against Fernely Feliz. Big home crowd advantage for Ruiz, and both talked about the importance of this fight.
It's very important. Each fight is important to me because one bad fight it could set me back to the beginning, and it's a long road, and that's why I'm taking this fight as a championship fight.
He's the one that got the pressure on it. He's the champ. He's the one that got to look good. He's the one that got to fight Lennox Wood or Holyfield. That's what's going through his head. I'm just the underdog. I'm the humble. I'm the guy that won. I got a lot to get, and he got a lot to lose.
And here is the challenger, Fernely Feliz, originally from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, moved here to the New England area in the early 90s, settled in Danbury, Connecticut, only lost in 17 fights in 96. A lackluster 8-round decision to current WBA #5 heavyweight contender Oleg Moskayev of Russia, the only other rated opponent he ever fought. He has rebounded with 6 straight wins, including 4 knockouts off an 8-round decision over a fighter named Badara Mabai in France in October of '98. He broke his right hand in that fight, trained by Don Turner, best known for his work with heavyweight champ Evander Holyfield. Ferdy, this is a big jump for this former cabinet maker. Prior to tonight, had never fought a scheduled 10-rounder, let alone a 12-round fight. It's his first title fight of any kind. Are we looking at a sacrificial lamb here?
That may be a little strong. We're certainly looking at a work day for a guy who's lined up to fight a title in Ruiz. Ruiz doesn't want to have any hard nights. He's standing there already. He's got a title shot in his hand just to stay alive. Is he in over his head? Yes, I think Felix is in over his head. Can he win? He can win like anybody can on a lucky punch. I don't see it here. I see a very hard night for him.
And you can tell by the reaction in the background. Here comes John Ruiz, who traditionally runs into the ring. Hometown product, born in Methuen, Massachusetts, lives in Chelsea, spent some time in Puerto Rico, and the crowd goes wild. He won the title over Jerry Ballard, made his first defense with a 4th-round knockout of Mario Colli on the Holyfield Lewis card. He's the #1 heavyweight contender in the eyes of the WBC. Bobby, he may be top-rated, but where do you see Ruiz in the grand scheme?
Well, in the grand scheme of things, Steve, he has a title shot in the waiting. He's very, very close to it. I think he's #2 or #1 in line. And what he has to do now, he has to look sharp. The big question, when he stepped up against David Tuitt, he got blown out. But he's been around the top 10 for a lot of years. He deserves his ranking, but he has to prove at the upper echelon with the big punches that he can stay. If he's durable, he'll be a big factor.
John Ruiz getting the support from the hometown fans. As we check the numbers, we go to the tail of the tape. Ruiz at 27, a year younger than Feliz. The height is all even. Ruiz at 229.5, Feliz 214.5, and a 3.5-inch reach advantage for Ruiz. And the key Massachusetts rules for this fringe championship: the standing 8 count is in effect. 3 knockdown rule also in effect. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell except in the last round. Accidental headbutt before the end of the 4th. It's a technical draw. After the 4th, they go to the scorecards. Now, due to a disagreement between the Massachusetts Commission and the WBA, this card was in jeopardy, but they settled matters just today. So fortunately, we are here with Massachusetts rules and officials. And here at the Shriners Auditorium in Wilmington, Massachusetts, getting set for local favorite John Ruiz versus Fernely Feliz. Let's get the formal introductions from our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you and welcome to the Shriners Auditorium in Wilmington, Massachusetts, here in the greater Boston metropolitan area, as we have a big night of action in store for you, and it's all brought to you by Don King Productions and Showtime Championship Boxing. At this time, we present one of our featured attractions. It is sanctioned by the World Boxing Association North American, President Jimmy Binns, Sr., Supervisor Jimmy Binns, Jr., along with the Massachusetts State Boxing Commission Chairman Mark DeLuca. Now introducing to you our judges, scoring this bout from ringside, Vinny Lee, Bob McCoy, and Don O'Neill. And our referee in charge of this bout, he'll be giving instructions after the introductions, Mike Ryan. All right, fans, here we go with the big boys of boxing. 12 rounds of boxing, heavyweights in the ring for the WBA North American Heavyweight Championship. Introducing to you first, the challenger on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks with silver trim, fighting out of Danbury, Connecticut by way of the Dominican Republic. He weighed in at 214.5 pounds with a record of 16 wins, 1 loss. He has 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome the challenger, introducing Fernely Feliz. And his opponent across the ring is the defending champion. On my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks with white trim, fighting out of and representing the greater Boston area in the city of Chelsea, Massachusetts. He weighed in at 229.5 pounds with a fine record of 34 wins, 3 losses. He has 25 wins coming by way of knockout. Introducing the IBF number 3 contender, the WBA number 2 contender, the WBC number 1 heavyweight contender. Here is the defending WBA North American Heavyweight Champion, known as the Quiet Man, introducing Johnny Ruiz. Once again, our referee in charge, Mike Ryan.
Okay, guys, I want you to obey my commands. When I tell you to break, you break, okay? In case of a knockdown, you go to the neutral corner. Stay in that neutral corner until I tell you to come out. If you come out, I'll stop the count, and I'll put you back in the neutral corner. I'm not going to count a low blow right here. I'm not going to count a low blow right here. If I won you 3 times, I'll take a point off you. I want a good, clean, professional fight. Touch gloves. Let's go.
During Mike Ryan's instructions, you may have heard Norman Stone, who is to the right of John Ruiz, his co-manager and trainer, saying, no heart, referring to the way he feels about Fernely Feliz. But Ruiz usually starts fast. He's aggressive, has power. His chin, though, a question mark. Although Fernely Feliz not a knockout artist, only 9 knockouts in his 16 wins, his last 2 fights by way of decision. A real college rah-rah atmosphere here at the Shriners Auditorium in Wilmington, Massachusetts.
Let's have a fight now. We're not here to wrestle. We're here to box.
A little holding and grabbing right at the outset.
Ruiz always comes out with a strong jab, Steve. I love the way he attacks his opponents. Nice jab. He ducks his shoulder down, chin down, and he goes to work.
Watch for that left hook, right uppercut combination of John Ruiz. That's one of his favorites.
And it's a hard jab. The first one he threw was very hard. And he hasn't slackened up. Each jab is hard. It's not a feeling out jab. It's a hard jab.
Ruiz, a pure gentleman in the prime of his career, trying to shake the tag of not being anything too exceptional. He did look impressive at Madison Square Garden in March underneath Holyfield Lewis, but he was fighting a guy basically who was looking to hold and survive in Mario Pauly. He does have people like Jimmy Thunder and aging Tony Tucker, Carl Williams on his hit list, but his only real embarrassment was with David Tua 3 years ago. He was stopped 19 seconds into the first round.
I said let's go.
You can almost throw away those kind of things. I mean, that's happened to everybody. I mean, from good fighters like Emil Griffin on just walked into 1 punch.
Okay, guys.
But he is putting massive hurt on this guy. Whenever he stops, even when he's clinching close, he's punching hard to the body. His punches are very hard.
Right now they got a little rabbit punch thing going. Both of them trying to duck their shoulders and get across one another's face.
He's roughing him up. He's trying to take his heart out.
Feliz is showing right now a pretty nice jab, but he's not really putting any combinations together.
Wake yourself up.
Feliz, as you can readily see, terrific body, muscular, but in the tapes that I have seen of him, he does lack fire and passion, needs to be more aggressive. Usually one and done, doesn't follow punches up, and sometimes carries the left hand a little too low, as he is right here.
Now, he hasn't thrown much, and when he did throw, he missed. So he better start getting something if he wants to get Ruiz out of his face.
He does things that young fighters do coming up through the ranks, not guys at this level. Ruiz 9-0 with 8 knockouts since that loss to Tua. This is the WBA North American Heavyweight Championship. Yet Ruiz is rated #1 by the WBC, #2 by the WBA. Right uppercut on the inside by Ruiz.
Working there. Let him go. Let him go.
Ruiz is looking to set up that right hand from the outside behind the jab, but he hasn't really found his rhythm yet, and he hasn't been able to time his opponent. And conversely, the other guy's not throwing any right hand, well, till now.
He heard you.
He's got to throw.
Final seconds, the opening round. Nice jab by Ruiz. That one deflected by Feliz.
You gotta watch banging your head in. He's banging the shit out of you, buddy.
Listen, John. Stay with that jab, baby. You hear me? Stay with that jab. You show the right hand on top, you're all right. He's open now. He's straight behind you. You heard him with that jab?
And a 90. You understand? As soon as he jabs, step over and throw the 45. Come on, where's the spit bucket?
Let him spit on the towel.
You understand? Hold on, let me get the towel out of this. You understand what I'm saying? Plenty left hands in his face, making jab, step over for a left hook. All right?
Familiar face and voice in Feliz's corner, Don Turner, who trains WBA and IBF heavyweight champ Evander Holyfield, contender Michael Grant. Round 2, John Ruiz, typically a fast starter, as we said, and in round number 1, we saw a pretty good pace for heavyweight.
Feliz is being a little more effective with that jab now. He seems to have found the range of Ruiz, and I think we may be in for a decent fight here, fellas. Feliz is losing his trunks, though.
This could soon be an X-rated program.
At least an R.
Nice jab. He woke up to the fact that he can jab as well. He's jabbing very well from the opening of the second round. Is Feliz.
Feliz said his best weapon was his jab, and right now he's living up to that.
He also said his speed will outdo Ruiz. He said he was not impressed with Ruiz in his last fight with Pauly. It's his first fight in '99 because he fractured his right hand in his last fight in October. Says it's 100% now.
Well, it's certainly showing no respect or fear for Ruiz. He's come to battle. He's come to win. In the second round, he's doing very well with his jab, but he keeps putting it out there.
The Ruiz camp has questioned the heart of Feliz as Ruiz backs Feliz into the ropes.
None of those punches were real clean. Feliz was doing a lot of leaning and twisting, and not too much was very clean in there.
Crowd went wild because he finally threw some combinations, but truthfully, not much of that landed. No effect on Feliz. He just bipped and bopped and kept on going.
Ruiz slowed down his pace a little bit. Maybe he's learning to respect that jab of Feliz a little bit himself.
A good jab will do that.
Step back.
Slow you down a little bit.
John Ruiz fighting here in Boston for the first time since '96.
Working there. Working there.
His co-manager Norman Stone said if Holyfield Lewis does happen, then Ruiz is first in line for the winner. But in actuality, if it happens, the winner is supposed to fight Henry Akinwande.
Step back.
If not, then Lewis fights Ruiz. Holyfield meets Akinwande. Lewis Akinwande unattractive, and Holyfield Akinwande a tough sell.
Could you repeat all that? I was just trying to get that down.
I feel like Professor Irwin Corey when I run that down.
All right, great.
But Ruiz would need one more fight in between. He wants to stay focused on one thing at a time. He says, I've trained hard, I've paid my dues. Hopefully my chance will come. Their feeling in the Ruiz camp is that they have fought the tougher opponents than the other heavyweight contenders.
the water on his head. Don't wait on this kid. All right? How you feel?
Good.
Feel everything out?
Yep.
All right. Keep your fucking hands high.
You're not following the jab with your right hand. That's why I hit him. Follow the jab with your right hand. Follow the right hand.
John Ruiz using that jab to push back Feliz to the ropes, trying to land that right hand. They glanced. Ruiz trying hard, but Feliz right now is hard target to hit. Here you see him again with that double jab in the right hand, grazing shot. Feliz is pretty slick and moves out of the way. Again, a grazing shot, but John is throwing those punches. He is trying.
Not that it looks dangerous, but there's a bit of a mark or a cut on John Ruiz's forehead. Not sure if it's from a punch or an accidental headbutt. Doesn't appear to be in a bad location.
No, and it could be those jabs. Jabs are hard. Feliz has to know hard jabs. They say he can jab, I believe him now, except he has to do more of it. He's getting out-jabbed by Ruiz.
Seems reluctant to let loose, does Feliz. Feliz on the left of your screen, they're both wearing the same trunks.
All right, break, step back.
It is extremely hot here. There's no air conditioning, plus the television lights coming down heavily on the fighters. Got to be very, very difficult.
Well, I think fighters like heat. Bobby, you fought with and without air conditioning.
What's better?
You know what? I'm always hot, fellas. Even in here, I can sweat in a meat locker, so I like the air.
So we can't use you as an example.
I'm a bad litmus test.
Yeah, Bobby is a bad thermometer.
See, Feliz is very sneaky and very slippery, and it looks nice, but it's not really effective. John Ruiz is still coming forward, throwing punches, even though they're missing. Those arms.
That jab and followed up by a right didn't miss by Ruiz.
Well, he's got to lower that right to the body. He did just then, and then landed that great combination because he set it up with a jab and then went right straight to a thumping body shot. That's what you need.
And Ruiz doing a nice job blocking left hooks by Feliz. Ruiz continues to come forward. Feliz backpedaling. If Ruiz comes close to doing anything, the crowd will erupt.
Don't hang on, work in there.
Even if he whips.
All right, step back.
Now, these thumping body shots have got to take their toll.
He didn't whip there. That was a nasty left hook to the neck by Ruiz.
See, now that's the jab that Feliz needs to throw, but he's got to follow it. Take two of those, step in with it, follow with a right hand, left hook. One at a time, one and done won't make it work.
He also throws wide, I've noticed. He telegraphs, should fire straighter punches, Feliz. He's going pretty straight there with the jab, but he's got to follow it up with the right. Oh, Ruiz just held back with the right hand there. Grazing blows by Feliz, not much damage.
Let him go, let him go, let him go. Work in there, both
The Puerto Rican flags waving in the background for Ruiz. He spent some time down there. Boy, Feliz is carrying his arms awfully low.
I don't think you can get him any lower, and now he's paying for it.
I think he's starting to wear down. He's beginning to look worn out.
And it's only the third round.
Well, he's been taking a beating. He's been taking a good beating from a guy that's determined to get him out of here.
Sorry, buddy. Nice round, nice round, nice round. Nice round. You do.
Here you see John Ruiz with his back to us. What he's going to do, he's going to come in behind that good jab. 1, 2, 3 jabs. Then he's going to duck down, and he's going to bang their body on both sides as we roll the tape. He's using that jab to get in, close that gap. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. Now he's inside. Here comes the right hand to the body, and then the left hook. Even though the left hook was blocked, very, very good sequence for John.
You can hit this guy.
And that's what's wearing out. Let's listen.
You know, you can't win a fight unless you punch. Go to work this time. Bing, 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 bing. Come on, let's go.
Round 4.
John Ruiz looking very purposeful and has been very effective as we enter into round 4. Feliz continuing to hold his left hand low. It's costing him. He's just not quite quick enough to avoid Ruiz's jabs and right-hand lead.
His hands are up a little higher to open this round, though, Steve. Both his hands are up, looking to do a little business.
Let's see if he can.
Well, he's been told in the corner, you got to punch with both hands, and you got to let him go bing, bing, bing. Well, he doesn't. He goes bing, and that's it. And that is not going to get him anything but a beating.
Feliz does have a pretty good chin. We'll see if it gets tested here. Good straight left hand by Ruiz. Ruiz measuring Feliz out, waiting for the opportunity. Very economical.
He's keeping Ruiz at bay with that jab, is Feliz, and he's throwing it with the right hand, but he's not really landing it.
Work in there, boy. Come on, guys, you're in there to work.
Mike Ryan out of Lowell, Mass, the third man of the ring.
Doing a good job also, staying out of everybody's way. Very few clinches. When he gets there, he jumps and says, fight,
All right,
fight.
great. Come on, guys, you're holding on. Let's stop holding.
Ruiz, a very good combination puncher.
Watch it. Stop the hold.
This is a little bit of slowing out of character even for John Ruiz. He's waiting for something or watching something, but he's normally a little faster, a little more punches than this.
Let's go. Both ears, let's go.
Well, it's the fourth round. He's taking a little breather because he's not fighting as hard as he was the first three.
And as you can see, Feliz refuses to press the attack. He just continues to go backwards. As Ruiz stops him.
Let him go.
His face is getting a little marked up. His Feliz, little bloody on under the eye.
Now Ruiz opens it up a bit.
I think it's praying probably in the back of the mind of Feliz that he's never been past 8 rounds. He probably is thinking about that, conserving energy, and if he conserves too much, he's not going to even have a shot at a decision should this go late.
Feliz unrated. He's fought only one other rated opponent, and he lost that fight to Russian Oleg Moskaya by decision.
Great. No punching, no punching.
Well, he's fighting a fair stay-alive fight, but not a fair win-the-round fight, and that doesn't get you anything.
No punching,
Except
no punching,
you get to see the last round.
Wild miss there by Feliz.
Let him go. Hey!
Coming up next, our main event, the WBA Super Middleweight Championship. Lyles versus Mitchell. As we take you into the dressing room of the challenger, heavy-handed Byron Mitchell, who packs a powerful right hand. The undefeated Mitchell, 19-0 with 15 KOs. Former Golden Gloves champion who completed 3 years of college before turning to boxing full-time. While he's rated #1 by the WBA at 168, his list of opponents very suspect. Tonight we'll find out if he deserves to be here. He'll be fighting fabulous Frankie Lyles later in our main event.
You got it, baby? Yeah. You're the champ. Let's get who you want.
Give him some water.
You got it. Get who you want, champ.
Buddy, this cocksucker's holding anything down.
You're the champ. Get the ring on, okay, champ. Step forward.
As we enter into round 5, pretty good amount of movement from these heavyweights. 229.5, 214.5 through the first 4 rounds. The fight being commanded by the hometown favorite, John Ruiz, on the left of your screen.
Feliz looks to be a little heavier than 214 as you stare at him, but the scales usually don't lie.
That jab being blocked nicely by Ruiz. Ruiz covers up well, doesn't he? Keeps the hands up high, covers his face. Nice defense. But then again, Feliz not offering that much up except for a jab every once in a while, one and done, like that. Doesn't follow it up with the right.
Feliz has come out a little more purposeful this round, throwing more combinations. John Ruiz not really all that excited to get into the action yet.
There's that jab again, but nothing behind it for Fernely Feliz. Perhaps doesn't want to taste anything back on the counter.
Oh, let him go. Let him go. Let him go. Listen, I want you one more. One. No, stop or hold.
John Ruiz, all business, very few words, thus the nickname, the quiet man.
Well, he's got warned for holding. One more and we'll take a point. Off of what? There's no points left for him.
You know, technically in the rule book it's illegal to hold, but no one enforces that particular rule.
Oh. Nice shot. Two nice shots, but he was flying backwards. The impact was considerably diminished.
Feliz shaking his head as if to say it didn't hurt.
Believe it or not, that's all John Ruiz has done this whole round is that little combination. He hasn't really done anything for the past 2 minutes.
Exactly. The other guy has done all of not good punching, but all the punching. I mean, it's bit, move here, but he's been doing the punching. Ruiz, that's the first good action. Not enough to win the round for him. He ruined his shutout.
Ruiz with the barrage there, but Fernely Feliz smiles back at him.
He's very slippery for a big man, pretty quick, good reflexes, hard to hit cleanly with 2 or 3 shots. And he doesn't throw uppercuts because John Ruiz is stationary, sitting there just waiting to get hit with one, but Feliz doesn't even throw them.
A lot of movement here from Feliz.
Let him go. No punching.
But he's not able to throw anything in land.
Ruiz getting a little frustrated now. That was a little frustration there, just chasing him down.
And then Ruiz digging to the body.
Let him go. No punching. No punching.
And then a left hook just before the bell by Ruiz. That had some impact.
Guess what? You can knock this guy out. You know that, right? How you feel? Give me that. Grease.
When John Ruiz starts punching, he throws them in bunches. He'll take a shot, throw a double or triple combination. Here's a nice 1-2 with a hook. Off balance more than it was really an effective combination. Here's an overhead look at the same shot. Really not very clean shots, but effective. He scored points. See, if he'd only thrown 1 and 2, we wouldn't have landed. Here's later in the round. Comes in behind that jab again. Doubles it in, throws an uppercut, another uppercut. Neither of them really land. The left hook to the body lands, the one to the head, very glancing. Not real effective, but he's throwing punches. If he hadn't thrown 3 and 4 and 5, he wouldn't even score.
The champion's best punch of the fight arguably came at the 140 mark of round 5. Left hook high to the head of Feliz. Overall, a good round for the quiet man.
Actually, I don't think the round was that good for him, Steve. First two minutes, he did absolutely 0. And then he had a couple of short spurts. It's the only round that I actually gave to Feliz.
Exactly the way I saw it. He just didn't do enough.
Unless he stole it. And keep in mind, these are all local judges.
Yeah, he may be pitching the shutout for them, but
Ruiz's corner exhorting him to hook more and go to the head more. They're yelling at referee Mike Ryan to take a point away from Feliz for holding. Ruiz answers back with a nice left jab of his own to the head of Feliz. He backs Feliz up, left hook right combination, and then another left hook.
It was a nice combination. He timed the left hook to the right hand, him with the second left hook. But I thought he should have stepped again right there, stepped right back with the jab and fired a big right hand.
Ruiz's jab's getting through. It's not as hard as it was those first 2 rounds, but it's getting through.
Looks like Feliz really beginning to feel the effects. Absorbing a lot of punishment. Midway through the 6th. It is scheduled for 12, WBA North American Heavyweight title, but more significantly, a chance for Ruiz to display his wares, maintain his #1 ranking in the eyes of the WBC, and perhaps position himself for a title shot down the road.
Yeah, the odds of him doing anything crazy or careless now are pretty slim. He knows where he's headed. He's got a guy in front of him who's unproven. And John Ruiz has been tested before. He didn't rise to the occasion against Tua, but he has beaten some good names, including Jimmy Thunder, Tony Tucker, and some others.
His biggest win, a decision over James Thunder to win the NABF title.
No holding on, either one of you, no holding.
Nice left hook to the body from Feliz. Probably the best punch he's thrown all night.
And the one that landed the best and with the most power. There he goes again.
Right uppercut by John Ruiz, right on the button.
Twisted his head around. Feliz's head just corkscrewed on that.
Now they exchange punches. Combination with a head by Ruiz. And he nails him with the left at the bell, and he staggers to his corner.
Oh, he's barely making it. He's in trouble. He's barely making it. Sit down. Oh, boy, he collapses down. He went down like an imploded building. He just, whoa.
Right, you got to the bell. You hit him after the bell. That was after the bell. You got his arm on him. All right? You grabbed him and you hit him after that.
John Ruiz throws his punches in bunches. He gets work behind that jab. There's a single jab, then a hook, right hand and another hook. He's starting to catch up with Feliz. No matter how squirmy he is, those second and third punches get him. Here he goes to the body real well, comes up to the jaw. The last one didn't reach, but still, he throws 3 and 4. This is the end of the round where he got him in trouble. I think that left hook right there really hurt Feliz because he started to stagger.
Time up.
We're not sure if Feliz can answer the bell here for the 7th. He just gets up now. Oh, he's in all kinds of difficulty. Fernely Feliz.
John Ruiz is going to come right at him now. He's going to work that double, triple jab and then start firing.
Yeah, he is weak. He doesn't have the strength.
It's a shutout online, as you might expect. And Ruiz trying to finish off Feliz right here. Right uppercut to the chin and a left hook to the ribs. He is pulling it off.
The referee is right there. Look at him. He looks like he's on his tippy toes ready to move in.
Feliz is fighting back. At least he's protecting himself. He hasn't been hit real cleanly and he's throwing punches back.
And Ruiz goes right back to work. But Feliz does answer back gamely. Digging body shots and then a right uppercut by Ruiz. A shot to the top of the head. Another left and a right. And he is smothering Feliz.
Feliz is on his last legs here.
He is on spaghetti legs. He hasn't got his legs under him anymore. He's got guts. That we can give him. Whoa.
Good body shot. Very good left hook.
Powerful shots by Ruiz. But I'll give Feliz credit. Forget that stuff about not having any heart. He is doing his best to answer back. Even though he is being destroyed.
He is just about to lose his pants. They got to pull his pants up. That's right. Nice little breather of 5 or 6 seconds there.
I'm not sure it's going to be a big enough breather.
No,
maybe Ruiz.
He needs a 3-minute breather.
Ruiz could lend him his championship belt.
Let him go, no fight.
Well, he's here for the taking. It's now depends on how Ruiz can finish.
How many people here at the table actually thought that we'd see the end of this round? We may still not, as Ruiz continues to pummel Feliz. And there's nothing happy about Feliz right now.
Beautiful double jab, right hand and left hook by Ruiz. He landed that as cleanly as he's landed anything all night.
These corkscrew right uppercuts by Ruiz are finding a home repeatedly.
That's it.
Standing 8 count in effect here in Massachusetts.
4, 5, 6, 7.
I mean, it's probably a moot point, but this is a 10-8 round for Ruiz.
Right.
And they continue.
Standing 8 count is not a rule I believe in. These are pros. This is what they do. Stop it and let it go.
What a vicious left uppercut by John Ruiz.
See those punches punches are wild, and he's swerving a lot, but he's not landing those punches.
Finally,
that's barroom. Yeah, that's barroom brawl stuff. He should settle down and do the damage. Forget John Wayne stuff.
Huh?
It's a 10-8 round, no.
Answer me.
No less.
Huh? I didn't hear you. Huh? I'm gonna stop the fight. I'm gonna stop the fight.
You can take this fight. Don't let him know. You can take it. You can take it. Don't let him. Put your punches together and that's it. The man is tired up in there.
Come on. Come on.
He's punishing him. The man is tired.
It's over. It's over. Feliz unable to continue. Don Turner, you can hear him, said, I wanted to stop the fight, but his other corner person, I'm not sure if it was Johnny Trawick or what, said he did not want to stop the fight, but Don Turner overruled.
And a good solid stoppage of the fight. If he'd have gotten up in it, just gotten damage that he didn't need to get. He was losing the fight by a wide margin. No, wasn't even close. So the best he could have done, he did, and he did better than we thought he was going to do. We didn't think he was going to go past 4. So a nice workout for Ruiz, preparing him for the big time.
Yeah, Fernely Feliz showing some resolve after he came in with a reputation of fighting passionless and without heart, as John Ruiz gets congratulated by ringside hometown fans. He's from nearby Chelsea, Massachusetts. Fernely Feliz unable to answer the bell for round 8 and able to survive the 7th round in courageous fashion.
You know, technically, because the bell didn't ring for the start of round 8, that's a stoppage at 3 minutes of round 7.
So that's how it will look in the records. Now we'll get the official word momentarily from Jimmy Lennon Jr. So John Ruiz improving to 35-3 with 26 knockouts.
John Ruiz really getting into his rhythm, started teeing off on Feliz. Feliz was trying to be game, trying to fight back, but in here there was a couple of uppercuts that were wicked. That wasn't one of them. The referee looking in the eyes, watching real close, and eventually he steps in and thinks that this man needs a break. See, a lot of the punches doesn't land clean, but a couple of the right hands did. I think that they could have let that go a little more before giving him a standing 8, but the referee made the call, and here's the end of the fight. Ruiz still working hard, trying to stop it, trying to get the fight over. Turns Feliz around, and this guy is real slippery. He just twists and turns his way out of the punches, but not really effective. He was hurt, he was tired. This fight was over.
Ruiz hangs on to his WBA North American heavyweight title, his second defense. We'll get the official word from our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has been stopped at the end of round number 7. Our referee in charge, Mike Ryan, stops the contest upon suggestion of the corner. The winner by way of technical knockout, and still the WBA North American heavyweight champion, the quiet man, Johnny Ruiz.
So Ruiz now waits and sees. Well, first of all, if there's a Holyfield-Lewis 2 in November, we talked about all the ramifications there. Ruiz victorious in front of his hometown fans. Remember the end of round 5? Was there a shot after the bell? Let's take a look and listen.
You know, the punch was kind of, at least his body was kind of in motion, leaning to throw that shot. I don't think he did it on purpose. I think it was just a natural continuation factor. Kind of like in the NBA.
I agree. So coming up next, our main event, it's the WBA Super Middleweight Championship. Fabulous Frankie Lyles closing in on his 8th defense of the title as he takes on knockout specialist Byron Mitchell. We take you into the dressing room of longtime champion fabulous Frankie Lyles, the only American champ at 168, a southpaw, natural right-hander, has a strong right hand as a result. Very reserved, no hype. Beat Roy Jones and Gerald McClellan in the amateurs. As a pro, his road has been a winding one. He won the title in Argentina, defended it in places like Ecuador, Germany, England, and Puerto Rico. Tonight, first time he's fighting a fellow American in the United States since 1994. He'll face Byron Mitchell. We're set for post-fight reaction from our first bout. Let's go to Fernely Pacheco in the ring.
You wanted a hard fight to get you in shape for what's coming up. That was a hard fight.
Yeah, he came to fight. You know, I mean, that's no doubt. He came to fight, and I'm lucky I came out with a victory.
Did you feel it was stopped correctly?
I feel like I was working him those last 2 rounds before they stopped the fight, and I feel that one more round he could have been stopped.
Did you think that the way he was jabbing, he would prove to be any trouble for you? Because at first he wasn't. Then he started throwing a stiff jab that was landing.
Yeah, you know, I was trying to get in there, trying to make him work. You know, I know if I make him work, he's going to end up, you know, dropping his hands, and that's when my opportunity arrived.
Does this type of fight do you any good? Does this really prepare you for a Lennox Lewis and Holyfield? Is this the kind of stuff you got to do while you're waiting?
Yeah, definitely. You know, every fight's important to me, because one bad fight, you know, I'll be back in the beginning, and I'm glad I came out with a victory and waiting for the next fight now. And of course, you did have a lot of fan support. Yeah, I did. It was my hometown. I'm glad it came out. I want to thank them, and I love them, you know. Well, I haven't seen this much enthusiasm since the Pilgrims landed here. So we go back to Steve Albert at ringside.
All right, thanks very much, Ferdy. The 3 judges saw it this way through 7. Ruiz 70-61, 70-62, and 69-63. 3 Massachusetts judges here. Let's check the online scoring, and the folks at home saw it as a shutout for Ruiz. If you took part, we thank you for your participation. The online voting will continue with the start of our main event. Before we get to that, I want to tell you about more boxing coming